Good afternoon. So this is a little bit of a different video than my normal collective readings. I'll probably do a collective reading tomorrow. This video is very inspiring to me. I'm a little bit nervous, to be honest. I have been watching a couple of very talented, very insightful tarot readers on YouTube, and one of them is named Russell from Rustling Around. And he decided to do something that really kind of opened me up again to working with the runes. And I have this rune here that my lovely husband made for me. We'll get into that in a bit. But Russell feels that he really has this beautiful connection with the runes. First of all, he reminds me of a Norse god. He's just got that energy about him. He's very wise, very old soul, and very knowledgeable, and just really connected with the earth, and just really connected with the ancestors and the energies of the planets, and just absolutely fabulous. He does sound healing. So obviously a YouTube tarot mentor of mine. And he has started a collaboration with several other tarot readers that I also feel very inspired when I watch their videos and their channelings. He has decided to do this collaboration where he takes the runes, and we, when we often work with runes, they're usually just small pieces of wood like this, even smaller. I haven't worked with the runes since high school, so this kind of brought me back to the runes in a different way. I mean, Odin's been speaking to me for a while, so I kind of was thinking about the runes a bit, but with Russell, what he decided to do was to come up with a tarot deck and design a tarot deck with a beautiful artist and some of the other tarot readers that is a different way of connecting with the runes. So maybe people that don't usually work with the runes can tap into that runic energy with the tarot cards. So I thought that was really interesting. And it just seems to kind of match the vibe of the energetic frequencies all over the planet right now. So really interesting. And Russell had, offered other readers the chance to, if they felt comfortable, to pick one of the runes that he had chosen, several of the runes to start with, and to kind of channel the energies of the runes, to kind of pick up on different things. And, he's going to perhaps look into what they've channeled and kind of combine all that together. It's a beautiful collaboration. And I participated in a live the other evening that just had such powerful energy. I mean, you could just feel it, and the stream literally cut out into the dark, and he had to do another stream. So it's just a really powerful energy, and I am honored and blessed and inspired to take part in this. And it's really, I love tapping into stuff like this, and I love working with other readers, and it's just really just such a great creative project that Russell came up with. So, kudos to him. So anyways, let's get on. I have this lovely rune here. Like I said, my husband designed it. It's from a piece of oak, and oak is connected with this rune. So this rune is called Jera, which I don't think I'm saying it correctly, but it is spelled Jera. So I believe it's Jera, and it translates to year, basically. This rune it's like, it has connections with the crow. It has connections with the herb of rosemary. Got my little rosemary sprigs here. My ancestors have actually been bugging me to work with rosemary every day. I've always worked with rosemary, but just the last month or so, they've really been saying rosemary every day. So I thought that was a little interesting synchronicity. And also it goes with this lovely carnelian heart, which I always carry around. So this rune is similar to also like the concept of what we think of as yin and yang. But it more identifies more particularly with like these waxing and waning cycles of the moon, and the cycles of life, the cycles of the seasons. This is like the wheel of the year, you know? It holds the energy of like fertility and fruition and passion and creativity, hence the carnelian crystal. And, you know, it's like this task that you've completed and now you're getting the positive results. Things are coming to fruition. You're seeing what's going to come of the work that you've put in. And this also can signify like new beginnings and new doors to open. So it's like this beautiful Ouroboros, the end of one road, the beginning of another, you know. It's like you're stepping into a whole new season of your life, you know. And this it's like it means that you're going to be stable and it's going to bring longevity, and it's not something that just comes through and goes away again. Like this is, you've worked for it and it's here to stay, and it brings this beautiful energy too of excitement and movement forward and growth and possibility. And it also concerns itself with choices and researching and developing and contemplating and working hard before you make any rash decisions. So in this way, you're using your own wise intuition and making these decisions that will give you the most prosperous, beautiful, long-lasting, celebratory outcomes, you know? So this could show up like if you're starting a new business or buying a new house or getting, you know, a new method of transportation, coming up with a business proposal. Like it's really also like it's this crossroads energy too. I feel like the way that they cross each other, it's like these are significant turning points in your life. It's you know, these are things that you've put your heart and soul into and now you're seeing come to fruition and you'll never forget it. You know, it's a beautiful milestone energy. And it's these new choices that you're making, these new paths, these new directions. And this is like the year, the time of year in the wheel of the year where it's like the harvest. It's prosperous, it's fertile, it's the richness of the soil, and it's yielding these beautiful crops, you know? And it's the masculine and the feminine energy, like coming together, because this rune is number 12, and the energy of the number 12 is like, that's the number 1, which is the male energy, and the number 2, the female energy. And together they've combined and they made, my favorite number, the number 3. So this is like, you know, the Holy Trinity, the Mother Maiden, the Crone, the new beginning, you know, because the number 3 is a very spiritual number, and it's the number of creativity. It's the number of rebirth and expression and passion and, you know, beautiful new beginnings. And 12 is also the number of like cosmic order, a number of completion, you know, and then we turn it again into that 3, that creativity, that inspiration, that optimism, that hope, because you can just see all of your heart and soul laid out before you and what you've co-created with the universe, you know? So let's get into tarot. This, I also want to say one more thing about the rune before I pull out the cards. If you can see, I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer to the camera, but this beautiful, like the wood pattern, it's called medullary rays, and oak does this, and perhaps other wood does too. I'm not quite sure, but it's like the rays of the sun. And so this, you know, again with this rune, it signifies, you know, winter, but also the sun and growth and hope and optimism and joy. So it's just so beautiful how the rays of the sun just kind of go into that. And then I put a spiral on the back, because I feel like it's like spiral energy too. Like the wheel of the year, it can also be the spiral, and you know, the different layers and different levels and different types of healing energy that we all go through, and how perhaps, you know, the runes that came before this rune were all about like healing pain and healing trauma and transmuting that to something beautiful. And, you know, then you know, what you've transmuted is now your creative energies, your passions, your heart, everything went into that. And, you know, you're coming out of that time, and that darkness, and you're seeing this beautiful rays of the sun. You're seeing this growth. You're seeing your light source, your solar energy, your solar plexus, like coming out into form. It's absolutely beautiful. Everything's being illuminated. All this, you know, new beginning energy. It's like the Fool tarot card too, you know. But the tarot card that is typically associated with this would be the Wheel of Fortune, because it's like, you know, you can see that Wheel of the Year, and you can also see how, like, the Wheel of Fortune is you, again, co-creating with the universe, but also the universe, like, shifting things in your favor and changing things up for you and creating this new beginning, creating this prosperous time. You know, it's absolutely beautiful energy. So let's see what the cards say. I have about 4 decks that I'm going to work with today. I'm going to start with the Druid Craft Tarot, then the Tarot of Mystical Moments, the Light Seers Tarot, and as Russell likes to call it, the Thoth, the Thoth Tarot deck. Probably only pull one, because that one we could spend an hour talking about a Thoth Tarot card. So we'll see what we have. Okay. I know my ancestors are here with me today. I've felt them for the last couple of days, very strong. So I asked my ancestors and the elements, beautiful nature outside my window, and the birds and the fresh air and a little bit of rain and the rosemary essence and beautiful frankincense incense, and I have some lovely magical herbs in my candle burning as well. I asked my guides and my ancestors and my higher self and the high priestess. She's here. Okay. One more quick little shuffle here. My Druid Craft. Okay. Oh, we want to pull out 3. Okay, this 9 of Wands has been coming up quite a bit. I feel like it's beautiful because we have this Princess of Wands on one side and the 9 of Wands on the other. So it's almost like, to me, it's saying that this beautiful Princess of Wands, she's that new fiery passion, that new creative energy, that beginner's mind that kind of started this project. You know, she started this energy of wanting to create something, wanting to follow her heart, wanting to stand on her own and be independent. And she's like, you know, she's ready to do this, to kind of, I feel like with the King of Swords too, it's like she's looking for this beautiful clarity. And I think that can only come from the beautiful beginning that she's creating from her heart here. And the 9 of Wands is like, it's her blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this. You know, it's saying that, like, it's this, she started off searching and you know, lots of things were growing, and things are changing, and this is like, you know, there's the energy of autumn here, the beautiful colors of autumn. So that's the fall, and this rune does symbolize winter. So, you know, there's these beautiful discovery energies. You know, you want to discover the green man in the woods. It's like there's all of this beautiful nature around, and this figure is here, and it's like all of his searching, it's this final goal. It's this last portion of his path where his intuition and his awareness are are coming into his energy and what he's doing. And it's like he wants to say goodbye to that old energy. It's like that old season, that's the past. That's what grew before. And now he's facing something like it's this challenge, but he's being called to bring in this more vitality in life and live life to the fullest and abandon his fears and fulfill like all of his wishes, all of those wishes that started with that Princess of Wands. You know, she's like, she was to me, it's like she was kind of the catalyst to begin all of this, you know, and she's the one that said like, I want a different season. Like, you know, she surrendered to her passion. She surrendered. She had this enthusiasm that like pushed her to begin, you know, and it's like, this is like her potential, her zest for action and desire. She was urged to go beyond her own boundaries. And only then, that's how she started to develop her research. And that's how she stepped into that King of Swords energy. Like she had this, you know, this will to grow and express herself and look out on her horizons and look for success and new experiences. And, you know, she went through all the past energies of the past rune, where it's like she went through like the trial by fire and, you know, the inner purification, and she was enriched by all of that, and that caused her to want to go beyond herself. She wanted to learn and to understand that there are energies that are larger than we are. You know, it's like she got beyond her narrow-mindedness. Perhaps by going through all that she went through, it changed her dramatically, and so she was able to see her life with new eyes, and that's how she was able to begin this new season of her life. You know, this new essence within herself. And this King of Swords is just, oh, I love this card. I feel like he's still, like he's watching everything, you know? It's almost like there's a part of him that he's got to kind of surrender a little bit of control to allow that Wheel of Fortune to kind of shift things too. And I feel like, you know, it's like you have to be careful when you're going into this beautiful next season of your life, that like you allow things to change and things to leave that need to leave, and like, you know, cut out those energies of control, because you could never get into that, you know? And it's like he wants to get this new type of clarity. He wants to engage in this process. And I feel like he needs to make sure that he's not controlling it too much. That's the energy that I'm getting. And it's like, perhaps there's this energy of like justice too. I feel like things are going to balance themselves out. It's like he doesn't have to try to, you know, scheme or be like, take too much control, be too militant about things, because things are going to balance themselves out energetically on their own. And he needs to just be honest and like be positive, and perhaps like listen to the advice that he would give others on their projects, and do that for himself, you know, be his own advice for himself, instead of like, I don't know. It's like, make sure that, you know, his expectations are understood. You know, have all the mirrors of your mind well polished. Know your own truth, you know? And it's like he has this beautiful master of knowledge within him, and he's either got his heads in the cloud, or he's like totally independent, down to earth, well grounded. And it's like he doesn't, the peaks of knowing include the limits of our knowledge, as well as the realm in which we know that our knowing can be transformed into believing. So it's like he has to know how to define his place, you know, between the universe and the world. And like, you know, if this rune represents the Wheel of Fortune, it's saying like he needs to, success or failure depends very much on his ability to question himself, to view himself from the outside, you know, to look at himself from this neutrality energy, and, you know, be loving, but at the same time, yeah, be critical, know himself, like don't let his fears control him. And it's like, don't split himself into two necessarily, you know, understand his needs and how to fulfill them. So this is like, he has to like almost suspend disbelief in order to be able to allow this energy to come through, in order to be able to see that he has created this new magical beginning with the universe, with the earth, with the fates, the fortunes, you know, it's, things are moving in his favor, and he has to open up his mind to allow that to come through, so he's not controlling the outcome so much. You know, he doesn't want to be too stubborn like my cat here, because then he won't be open to this beautiful Princess of Wands energy. Like, you know, to keep that beautiful beginner's mind, to keep that beautiful excitement and fire underneath him, to keep him going. Because again, this card is like the winter, you know, too. And it's like, that's a long season. That's a long time to go through. And you have to keep your hope, and you have to keep your beliefs, and you have to keep working towards your goals, you know, and being honest about things that are shifting and things that are changing, and how maybe the outcomes might be different at the end. But this next cycle is this beautiful new beginning. And, you know, the universe has the plans in mind, but you can grow, you can change, you can evolve, you can step into this prosperity, taking part in it and being proud of yourself. It's absolutely beautiful energy. So I feel like this ace is saying, sorry, there's glare on these. We have the Ace of Cups, the Seven of Wands. I love these cards. And the Knight of Swords. So to me, this ace is just this beautiful energy of the universe wanting to give you this beautiful overflowing cup of love, this beautiful prosperity, this beautiful, like, that's what this rune is. And this Ace of Cups is saying, like, this is the universe handing this to you, you know. But it's not, the universe would not give this to you unless the timing were correct, unless it felt like it was, you know, this energy of like fortune favoring the brave here. It's like, you wouldn't be given this if you didn't deserve it and you couldn't handle it as well. And this is like these great promises and this great expectation, but like keeping it's for your personal integrity. It's like, taking your own cup into your own hands too. It's like you have to be able to balance out those masculine and feminine energies again with this rune. It's like, because you have to use that masculine fire energy that we got from the Princess of Wands to get, get that going, work hard, get that project started. And then you have to be able to, at the end, to be able to get into your divine feminine energy and to be open to receiving, and this card is like, these are, it's like this beautiful ocean of feelings, and when this comes through, when you see all of your things come to fruition, all of your projects, all of your dreams, all of your desires, all of your passions, you see them come to fruition. It's like you feel this beautiful heart chakra opening, and you're able to experience this connectedness with all. And I feel like that is, it's like this beautiful new season that we're entering to as a society, as a collective, as we enter into this age of Aquarius. That's what that energy is about. We're like connecting with each other, and our place in the community is as important as our distinctiveness as an individual, So if we can get this beautiful balance here and get this harmony of our individual selves and our uniqueness and our quirkiness and our weirdness, and, get this with the great flow of life, you can experience this beautiful, special, spiritual, like baptism energy where you drink deep from the fountain of youth. Like that Princess of Wands will always be in your heart. You'll always be able to get newly inspired and newly creative and hopeful, and purify your psyche and delve deep into your feelings and let go and let go of those expectations of the King of Swords, and let go of that control and that overthinking, and just flow, and that's where you grow. And you'll find that you can always recharge yourself. You can always go back to that beautiful Princess of Wands, and your soul will take wing. It will take flight like this beautiful Knight of Swords. It's like you'll float free like a feather, and then you can take that energy out. You can take that with all of this sword energy, this air energy, this communication. And that's the age of Aquarius, is where like you communicate that with others, and you go through this, you create this beautiful new beginning for yourself, and this abundance and this prosperity and this new heart opening. And you are able to take that into the community and to help others and to connect with others and to engage with others in a very different way than we have before. And this beautiful energy of balance and harmony that our society is just craving and calling out for right now. It's absolutely beautiful. And then I look at the Seven of Wands too, and I feel like he's wanting to break free here, He's like, it's the power of his actions, and how you can we have these beautiful journeys in our life with so many stages, and sometimes they repeat themselves at a higher level. And this card is like, it indicates being open and reserved at the same time. And it's like the power of our hands, and as well as like what we have inside of us too, and our actions. And we don't always have to accept what's being handed us. We can march to the tune of our own drum and shine our own light. Again, it's like, be your unique self, and don't put up that resistance to life, because you can't get from one season to the next. You can't ascend from one level to the next in your consciousness. You can't start new seeds and birth something new if you're like always resisting. You know, you have to break free from that resistance that you put up for yourself. Like set yourself free from that, you know, and reach for the stars, you know. And then we have these beautiful roots, all of us, that dig deep into the earth. And we can reach for the stars too. We can do both. We're always on this beautiful evolutionary journey. And we can deal with those tasks. We can use our knowledge. We can use our experience and get through those tasks and handle our own energies, you know? And we can bridge this beautiful balance between heaven and earth, between our wishes and our reality. And, you know, reach these new levels and use our power in a relaxed way, and like be able to flow and be able to allow the energies to move through you. And Seven of Wands too, it speaks of like perhaps the new season, perhaps the Wheel of Fortunes are helping you to move into a new karmic pattern, you know, a new destiny. You're releasing you know, those runes before. You've gone through the shadows, you've gone through the dark nights of the soul, you've released and healed and removed those ancestral wounds. So now you're just starting on this beautiful new season karmically as well. And past life stuff is changing and shifting, and you're birthing a new generation, perhaps. It's absolutely intense and beautiful, powerful energy. And at the same time, it's like very grounded too. It does have that balance, you know, it does have that beautiful balance. And the Knight of Swords, she's again with that, it's like she wants to be free. She's feeling this beautiful energy of freedom, and her thoughts are taking her farther than usual. She's leaving all those old thought patterns behind, and, you know, merging her thoughts and her dreams, and you know, it's like if you live completely within in the realm of your mind, you can get completely absorbed in your imagination, your ideas, and your perceptions. And, you know, you can get stuck in that, and you can, you know, worry about titles and awards and medals and all of those achievements and thinking that's going to bring you happiness. But those are just symbolic. It's like you ultimately sacrifice your inner self, your true authentic self, if you're doing this just to get these rewards. So you're like losing your personality, you know? And it's like if you can use the power of your mind to deal with your problems and experience real happiness and like live this colorful, rich, and liberated life with this clear conscience and love and freedom, and listen to your guides and reach for your dreams, it's you're going to be much happier that way. You know, it's like she's writing her own story here too, you know. She's writing her own beautiful story. And I feel like that's where the Wheel of Fortune says, like, put, you know, she's put those words down to paper. She's put them out in the universe. She's manifested these things, and the universe is working with her to turn the fortunes in her favor, to give her this beautiful abundance that she rightfully deserves, because she's being her true authentic self. She's following her true path, and the universe always provides for you. It's like she's released herself from lack matrix, maybe, you know, and so now she can step into this beautiful abundance energy, you know, and she's following her heart again. Clearly that Ace of Cups that's the divine, you know, saying, here, open up your heart chakra. Like, you are following your heart now. And this is the abundance and the prosperity that you've created from going down that beautiful path. Yeah, there's the crossroads energy. Like, look at, it's the two wands crossing together. That's absolutely beautiful. And it matches the color of my flower. I love color symbolism. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Three of Cups and the Devil. Yeah. So we, like, here with the Two of Wands, she's at this crossroads. She's feeling this shift from one season to the next. She's feeling this shift from the past to the future. You know, she's feeling it, like it's touching her heart, and in some ways she's kind of torn, because it's like she wants to have, maybe she's got this conflict between her short-term interests and her intentions, and, you know, wanting to balance those energies out. And, you know, maybe she's having a difficulty, like perhaps changing this season of her life. Like, she's having difficulty, like, balancing her family needs and desires and her spiritual needs and desires, or her career desires. And it's telling you, like, you know, turn these emotional conflicts and difficulties into practical tasks to find the solution. So, like, this rune is giving you that clue to, like, you can fit things together. You can balance them together perfectly, you know? And the solution always has to do with, like, alchemy. Again, with, like, you're transforming, you know, breaking up these problems into maybe smaller pieces that are easier to fit together, or easier to manage, and easier to balance out, you know? And it's like, maybe you have to, again, it's like maybe you had to go through those fires of hell with, there's the Devil energy speaking to us. Hold on there, Devil. Get a hold of yourself. We're not ready for you yet. You had to go through these fires of hell in order to achieve these goals. That maybe that was necessary, you know? And this phoenix had to rise out of the ashes. You had to do this to be reborn, to connect with the beauty inside of you again. And it's saying, like, keep that will and enthusiasm going, like rely on your own strength, have confidence in yourself, and wait until this vision has become clear and your mind is made up, and then act when the time is right. So this is like divine timing. And I feel like that's where the Wheel of Fortune comes in, because if you surrender up that control, like that, like the swords energy again, like surrender up that control, and like just be patient and allow for divine timing, allow for those wheels of fortune to shift when it's right, and connect with the energies of the season, and just, you know exactly when the time is right for you to act. And that's, I think that's how you were able to step into that energy, to step into this abundance and this growth and this new beginning, because you knew exactly when to, you know, turn that fire on, and when to know, like, okay, now is time. I did all the research. I'm not going to doubt myself. I'm going to take that leap, you know? And this is, again, it's like the Sun card. It's like, have confidence in yourself, but be willing to take the leap of faith, and believe in the joy and the optimism energy. Like, it's here, you know, it's right here. It's right, you know, it's right waiting for you. And now we have the Three of Cups, and this card is like your feelings, and it's like, it's this symbol of emotional intelligence, and it's these connections that you make with people, and it's like integrating your feelings in body, mind, and spirit. It's this beautiful inner unity that is happy and long-lasting relationships. And I feel like, you know, all good things come in three. This is the three graces, the three fates. Again, like the three fates that turn that Wheel of Fortune. Like, they oh, they want to point you towards bliss and enchantment and joy. And it's like life is a feast if you go beyond yourselves again and go beyond that comfort zone and keep your emotional independence even when you're in the company of others, but at the same time, like, revel in the company of others. See yourself the way that others see you. Believe in yourself, celebrate and you know connect your mother and your maiden and your crone energies and unite with the three fates and be ready for this beautiful new beginning. It's absolutely gorgeous energy. I can't believe it. I love this card too. This card to me also speaks of, like, perhaps this new season, this new abundance is you creating a new soul tribe. Again, with this Age of Aquarius energy, it's like this is part of your purpose perhaps, and that's why the universe and the fates are saying, like, we're going to work with you because we want you to make these beautiful, important, loving, kindred spirit connections, because this is what you're going to do in your community for the Age of Aquarius. And this is part of your healing and the healing of others and the celebrating and the reconnecting with each other in beautiful, unique ways. Like that Ace of Cups is like overflowing and seeing each other's strengths and lifting each other up and working together and sharing and like-minded souls gathering together for the greater good. It's absolutely beautiful. So I'm starting to get tired, so let's move on to the devil, because he was trying to jump in there before, as the devil does. So this card is like, it's every human brings something new into the world, but we all have these certain qualities and peculiarities that don't fit into the present framework. So, we're all involved in this beautiful story of creation. And so therefore, like, eventually at some point, we're going to enter the realm of taboo. We're going to talk about different things and break off away from old habits and, like, rid yourselves of the darkness, once you finally recognized it for what it is. Once again, with like that King of Swords, it's like you are able to look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with yourself and know your triggers. And that's it's time for you to come home to your true self. And you've gone through all that shadow work, and that's what the previous runes were saying. And now you're balancing out those beautiful light and dark energies within you, and you've shed the light into the darkness. And those energies of the past, those energy vampires, those toxic patterns that we talked about, those karmic patterns, they're turning into dust. And now the hidden, it takes on shape and color as it emerges, and you're transforming it, and it's birthing into something absolutely beautiful and new, and you can look at it and you can observe it and you can decide how much of it that you want to use and what doesn't work for you. And maybe you can, share that with others in a way. It's almost like you can show others what you've transmuted and how you turned it into something else. And maybe that's your karmic release. Maybe that's a part of your healing. And it's like, don't be tempted to go back to that past. Don't be tempted to go back into your limiting beliefs and your need for control and the expectations and all of that, because this abundance isn't going to birth for you. If this is your new season, like you're telling him, no, I'm done with you. Like, you're gone. I learned from you. I grew from you. And I transmuted these shadows and created this beautiful alchemy. But it's like, that was the season of the past. Like, I'm sowing a new garden is here, you know. The fruit is different. I've planted new fruit trees, you know. Things look different here now, and I've gone beyond. I've expanded my garden. I've brought in new things, and I don't want to go back to the past. And of course, we're going to pull one Thoth quickly, because like I said, I could spend an hour on a Thoth. The layers of magic. Knight of Discs. Yeah, so it's like I feel like this is saying that you've got this beautiful new tangible evidence of something, and it's not the page, it's not, you know, it's stronger than that. It's this, you know, it's like the fiery part of earth. You've gone to the depths, you've emerged, you've reborn again. And these are, you know, you're a warrior. You know, it's this Nine of Wands energy too. It's like you're a warrior. You can stand tall, and you've produced this life. You've created this life. You've written your story, and you've worked with Mother Nature to birth this beautiful energy. And it's like, you know, he can be proud in that. There's this beautiful like sun energy again. Like he's confident. He's ready to take that out into the world, and he's not afraid. You know, he's gone through the trials by fire, and it's just, it's like he's the lord of this beautiful, wild, and fertile land. And it's like, I guess you could say that he's got this eternal value and this stability, and it's like he I feel like he didn't give in to his limitations, you know. He didn't have that short-sighted behavior, because, and this is saying like don't give in to that. And it's like he's pausing, he's searching for himself, he's dedicating himself to Mother Earth and living equally with her creatures. And it's like he's like he persevered. He was unshakable. He engaged in this active process led by his awakeness, and he was able to, you know, this card represents the harvest time and maintaining the best results from the development, and how it's important to do that. And, you know, we can enjoy exactly what we've done, you know. Don't It's time to rest and strengthen, and it's time to engage in gratitude as well. I feel like it's like this card is saying, it's like that you've worked hard, you're connected to Mother Nature, and don't get too preoccupied with those material things too. You know, it's tap into that inspiration energy again. But this is time to still remain stable and get to work and see the long-term vision, and don't let those emotions take over too much. You know, don't let the obsessive tendencies, like, you know, cause you to rush and to not let this beautiful beginning come through when the divine timing is right again, you know. But it is harvest time. Like, know when it's time to harvest. Know when it's time to settle into that abundance and be grateful for it and share it with others, and just engage in this beautiful balance of the divine masculine, the divine feminine, balancing your passions and your heart and your intuition with your mind and your actions out in the earth. It's absolutely beautiful energy. So, I, again, feel very inspired and very blessed, and I really enjoy doing this. And I hope that I did not ramble on too much, but thank you again for this beautiful opportunity, and for anyone that is watching this. And thank you to the beautiful Rune. Jera. Absolutely beautiful. Blessed be.